Hey guys, Haziel here with Night Multimedia. Today I'm going to be guiding you through the Photoshop CS6 User Interface. We're going to get familiar with the whole Photoshop workflow, and you're going to be able to see everything that Photoshop has to offer in the user interface. Without further ado, let's get going and let's get started. Alright, obviously what you want to do is open up Photoshop. I already have it open here. It's pretty much dark gray, design wise. We're gonna start with the menu on the left with file. Here what you're gonna find is here you can create a new document. If you click that, you'll see that it gives you all the options here. And starting off with this is you can put your any name of the project you want to name it. You can put whatever you want. I'm just gonna put here user interface, and here you can just change pretty much the size of your document. You can change it from pixels, inches, centimeters, and so forth. You can change the color mode, the background, and all that. It's pretty much just to create your the project file. You hit OK. We're not gonna be using this, but just for this sake, I'll make one. Now, if you want to open an existing document, you want to go to File, Open, and this will just open up a window where you can pretty much open a new document. We're going to cancel out of this. Here you can browse in Bridge, which is Adobe's file browser, and you can also open an image as a smart object. Smart object means it's not pixel based. It's pretty much vectorized. You can search around the web and find out more information on that. And here is just recent documents that you've opened recently, obviously. And here you can close the project and close all and so forth. And here you can save your document. Pretty much, if you're gonna save as a PSD, you want to save it as. If you're just gonna save a graphic, you want to save a graphic to your that it's web compatible, you want to go to save for web and so forth. If you, I'll go into this. Let's see, save for web, and here you can just choose the format you want, the size, the quality, and all that, and it's pretty easy. Then you just save it here. Alright, and now you can place a file. Pretty much you can also just drag it onto this document. Actually, you can import existing video frames and such here. You can export here to Illustrator and so forth. You can automate, which this is a little more advanced. You want to go into this further when you get more familiar with the interface and the whole Photoshop situation. Scripts, it's a little more advanced too. I myself don't really do much in this. And this file info is just to see the information of your opened document. And here you can print and so forth. We go to edit. Here, most of it is gonna be dimmed since I don't have any actual stuff on my document. You can undo. You can find the step forward, step backwards, which means that you want to redo and undo stuff that you've done to your document. You can cut and paste all your basic mouse things here, and you can fill. You can find your stroke. You can here. This is where you create the brush if you would like to do that. You can look around and see how to do that. Here, just more color settings. No biggie. I really don't go into this myself, so you would just want to navigate through this yourself and get familiar with that. Here you go to image. You can go to image. Here you can change the mode of your image. You can go to grayscale to RGB, which is the screen. And if you're gonna go to print, you want to do CMYK color and so forth. You can change the bits per channel here. the adjustments here, brightness, all that, anything that has to do with your image. If you want to darken it, brighten it, change the color, add filters to it, the exposure if it's overexposed, you know, just anything that has to do with the overall image adjustment. Here, auto tone, contrast, auto color is pretty much the same thing, but this is more of a new user friendly. And here, this is the image size and the image canvas. Between the difference between these two is image size is the size of the actual image, and canvas is the actual size of where you're working at, your overall canvas size. And here you can also rotate your image whichever you like here. Also, you can trim it and then duplicate, and pretty much that's what you need to know in this tab here. You can go to layer here and create new layer when you have it selected. You can duplicate layers. You can add new fill layer, which is solid, gradient, pattern. New adjustments, same thing as we talked over here, but this would add an actual editable adjustment onto your panel over here, which is editable, and you pretty much, that's what you want to do. In this situation, you're gonna want to do this when you're done with your image, but if you want to do something while you're working in your image and designing, you want to go through here. Now we go to type. I really don't use this much, but you can find your panels here for your characters and your paragraph styling and so forth here. Go select. This is pretty much the menu for your selection. When you have something selected, this is gonna be editable and so forth. Filters, this is the coolest part of Photoshop. This is where you can add filters and effects to your image, make it look nice and different. Go to blur, you can find all these different type of blurs here. Distort your image any way you like. Pretty much, man, you just gotta use your imagination on all these. Noise, you know, that's pretty much the little dots that creates like a little noise effect over your whole image. Pixelate, this just pixelates your image. You can use different type of pixelizations here. Render, you can make lighting effects, lens flares, and so forth here. Here, sharpen, this is just to make your image sharper. Like for example, if it's too blurry, you want to come here and sharpen it. Stylize, this is just like a little additive to your image or text font or whatever. You can use this. Video, I really don't use this, so I can't say much about this. Other, high pass, this is if you want to add a little HDR look, you can use some of these to your image, make high definition, whatnot. Magic bullet, Photolux, this is mine. This is a third-party plugin. You might want to check this out. It's by I forgot their name, by Red Giant. Oh yeah, Red Giant right here. And this is a different one, No Factory. But yeah, all the effects are here. Anything you want to adjust and be creative with your image with is here. View, this is just your overall Photoshop view. You can proof view here and all that. You can go to screen mode if you want to see in full view. You can do all that. Rulers, which is if you press, you can show here rulers. If you click R or Command R to remove them, they'll go away. And yeah, you can snap the guides. What the guides are, if you Command R, your rulers are gonna pop up. You can just drag and create guides here. See, from both sides. That's what that is. Here you can clear them and you can lock them so you can't move them while you're editing. Window, this is just everything that you want to see on the windows, on your window here. See how adjustments shows here because it's right here, and then this one's colors check mark because it's somewhere, it's up here. And so for all the check marks means that they're currently on your window here on your screen. And if you want something to appear such as character is right here, but if you want it to appear, hit that, it opens up for you. So that's pretty much done with that. Now we're gonna go to the wait, this is loading here. I don't want the tool. No, it's being slow here. Let's give it a minute, a second. Okay. Pretty much this is to move your stuff around. You can move your rulers, or if you have something on here, such as if you create a layer here. You have something here, you can move it around with this, and this is to create like the marquee. This is the marquee tool which you can create to make a selection here. If you hold down the mouse here, you can actually drag around and you can go from all these different shapes here. You can make this a square and so forth. And this is for a normal shape addition to it on here. And if you want to add to an existing selection, you hit this one to subtract this one to interlace this one. Okay, for the lasso tool, you can just, there's 3 different ones. Lasso, you can just draw it out and it'll make a selection, or you can polygonal this. You click once, you click a different place, so forth, and it'll create a different shape of whatever you like. Also, you can go to magnetic. This, if you have an image and you want to cut yourself out, this is a pretty good tool. You just hold it and it'll highlight. See how it's going around this black circle? It'll act like a magnet around your sharp areas here. It'll make a selection. The magic wand here, you can use a selection here. It'll quickly select anything that's similar to what you currently are selecting. The magic wand will select everything that looks similar within the linked area. This is your crop tool. You can crop this and make your image smaller and so forth. We're not gonna mess with that right now, but that's what that is for. You can hold it and you can get more perspective and slice tools here. Your slice tool pretty much you want to use when you're gonna create a website in here, like a layout of your website, and you want to export it. You can do that. This is the drop tool. You can, or eyedropper. You can, go through all these. I really don't use these much, but this is useful if you want to create select the color. Boom, see how it changed the white up down here. If I go in the center, it'll change it back to gray. This is the patch tool, or the healing brush. I mean, this is actually a healing brush section, which you can use to fix anything like watermarks or spots on your image. You can use all of these. Yeah. Then your brush tool. If you hold it down, you can use your pencil and all that. But mainly what I use here is a brush tool. If you go up here, it will give you you can change this brush size, the hardness, and you can choose a different style of brushes here. And if you go over here, you can change the blending mode. It's very it just depends. Just work with these. You'll get familiar with them and you'll know how they're used, how useful it would be. Opacity, the opacity of how hard of a, if you change it, let me show you. If you go to 40, see the difference there? It makes it lighter. And the flow is how fast you want it to flow, just like a pen or so forth. If you switch this to 50 or 40, you'll see a difference there. See, it's a little bit spread it out and smoother than this stroke here. I'm going to change this back to 100. Can we go down to snap tool or clone? This you can use to patch your image also if you have a section where you want to clone. For example, if you hold down the command on a Mac, or actually it's option, you click and it'll draw that. See how that the little cross up there? It's copying from that section there, and that's how that is used. You can also go to pattern, but I really don't mess with that one. This is the history brush. You just go through the history of how you used your brush, and you can get presets and so on from there. This is the eraser, which is pretty simple. You can either cut it out or just with the eraser you can erase it. You can change the same thing as your brush. You can change your stop inputs here and all that. This is the gradient, man. You can also use a bucket. The gradient is where you can let me show you here. If you pull down, it'll create a gradient, a smooth gradient, change from one color to the other. If you do the paint bucket, it'll just fill out with this one solid color. Well, that's if you don't have anything obviously on the canvas. Since I had that pattern on there, it's adding it to it little by little. But if I change to white, now it's gonna fill it out with white. This is the blur tool. You can use this to blur certain sections of your image to create a depth illusion or whatnot. Sharpen is sort of like your filter up here, but this is just for areas and sections that you might wanna sharpen up and make crisp. Smudge, it'll just, if you use your brush tool and let's make this, you can use your right or left bracket to make your brush smaller. You click on here, and then if you use your smudge tool, you'll see that I can drag it here, see, and smudge it. See, that's how that's used. Now here is the dodge and burn tool. This you can use to create a very cool HDR effect on your images. The dodge makes it lighter, certain areas of your image lighter. The burn makes it darker, and the sponge it's like right in between or so. The pen tool, this will not cover much here. This is for a separate tutorial. You might want to search it up. I'll be creating one if you want to take a look at that. The pen tool, it's pretty much to create shapes and make into a select. You can make into a selection and so forth. Text, this is where you're gonna be used to create your text. You can pull and drag here, and you can put text. You can make bigger here, and up here you can change the. If you go back to text, you can change the text here. Let's see how that works. And you can change if you have bold. Some of these will have bold or regular or italic. Not all of them, just some of them. You can change the font size here. That's way too small, see there. You can change how crisp it is, if it's sharp. You just play with these and you'll get familiar with those. And these are just to align to your left or to your right, to the middle. If you want to create like an arch and so forth, search shapes, look at this. You can go here. Okay, now I go to this. See, this is, you can move this. I forgot what this is called. A path selection. See, remember I recreated a path with the pen. This you can move around. That's what you use to move around. And this is the shape tool. You can do a rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygonal, line, custom shape, and so forth here. You just play with those and you'll have fun using those. This is just to move the whole canvas around. If you like zoomed in, if you press Command plus, you'll zoom in, and with this you can move around. See how that is? Then if you want to zoom out, Command minus if you're on a Mac, or Control minus on the Windows. Now this is to zoom in if manually, but I showed you the shortcut, which is Command plus or Control plus on Windows to zoom in. To zoom out is Command or Control minus. And this is your foreground color and your background. You can always switch around. Let's see how this works. And that's pretty much it on that side. Here we have the. Once you hit your text, you also have your other settings here you can change and so forth. This is the paragraph formatting. You can change the color of your certain things, adjustments, window panel. You can, as I showed you before, you can adjust all. You can access all of these here, or if you don't have them on here, you can get them from here. Let's see over here. this is to delete a layer. I'll delete the text layer. Delete. This one's to create a new layer, so it'll create a blank layer, nothing on it. And this one is to group something. So if you want to group it, you just drag a layer and go and see how it moved in and indented a little bit. That means it's in the group. See, this expands and contracts the group. This is the adjustments. You can also access your adjustments here. And this is just the mask tool. For example, if we select this, we'll just create a shape here. I can't do it because it's on a different layer. Anyways, that's just to mask something that you want to show on your image, and it'll block certain areas and so forth. And these are the effects, which if you can also access if you just right click on it and go to I can't, it's empty, so I can't do it on that one. Right click on it, you can go to, actually you just double click on it and it'll give you your layer styles and so forth. So you can get your bevel, your stroke, inner shadow. Your bevel is pretty much to make it sort of 3D-ish. It's not quite 3D, but it makes it gives it a little pop, just to make it like a pop-up thing. And your stroke is just the stroke around your image or your object or whatnot. The inner shadow is just a shadow that's going to show inside your selected layer. Our inner glow is just sort of like inner shadow, but it's actually glowy. It's inside also, and it's inner shadow. It'll give a shadow effect on the inside, like if there was a shadow, real shadow. Inner glow, it'll go all the way around. And then satin, and it'll give it like a little accent to your image. See here, you just want to play with that. The color overlay gives it a color to the overall layer. You can change the adjustments here. Your gradient's pretty much like this one over here that we talked about. Where is it at? It should be, it's in one of these. I forgot the brush, I think. And it's pretty much just to this will just apply to the current layer selected. Pattern overlay, you can adjust here your patterns and stuff. You can choose the blending modes and just play around with all of these. Outer glow, it's just an outer glow on outside the selected layer. Drop shadow is just to make a shadow for your image. You just have to play with these and you'll get a hang of it. Just have fun, enjoy and learn on the way. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll try do my best to answer all your questions. Be sure to give this video a like. It'll help me a lot. And if you like my tutorials and you like to see further of them, just subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And thank you for watching and for your support. And you guys have a good one. Hasiel here with Night Multimedia, signing out.